Where's the music button?
Tune in now to your Two Dads show. Ooh, JJ and Deacon, they're the ones in the know. Subscribe quick. Squid monsters on the way.
It's right there.
Inspire with us. Tomorrow's news today.
Nikki Haley's riding that son of a bitch. Good morning, everybody. It's Trump Dominates Super Tuesday. We are going to be reporting a little bit on the Republican primaries. When the hell? Oh my God, this show, these people. I'm an AI News. You got this wrong. We were just talking about how great a job we were doing. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I'm JJ. That's Deacon. We are your two dads. We meet here promptly at 8 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Friday, for a live, invigorating experience to drink coffee and talk about the news and start your day off the best way it can possibly. I need to come up with a better way of communicating this, that we are wiping the sleepy out of your eyes, and we're going to take the little grumpy monster that, you had a fight with somebody yesterday. Take that guy, throw him in the trash can. Today is going to be the best day of your whole life, starting right now, because you tuned into this show. It's going to be the best day. You're going to make it happen. We're going to make it happen with you. And by the end of the show, you were going to crack up with laughter because I have another amazing joke from my daughter. Oh, and then Deacon died on the show.
And then we died. Actually, I have to say, Lily's joke was far superior than the.
I know.
All of the jokes for the entire year last year. So I'm actually looking forward to this one today.
Okay. All right.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I'm great. I've already had an amazing morning. Today my kids are doing superhero, something about reading or whatever, so they get to dress up as superheroes because like reading is super. I don't know, whatever the school says. So they were like, "Oh, we want costumes. We want costumes." No problem. There's costumes out of the costume box because you kids have like 900 costumes. No, we want Raya the dragon thing. I was like, who? What are you talking about? Where is that? It's in the attic. I am not going in the attic for you to have a costume. No.
You went.
So I went in the attic. Yeah, of course. Couldn't find it though. so I had an upset kid. She ended up dressing as Elsa. The other one's Batgirl. Elsa, I guess, is superhero. Whatever. Yeah. So Great morning so far.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And yesterday was a great day. We have a bunch of news, but it's not all going to be how Trump dominates and Nikki Haley sucks. That's true. That is in the news, but that's not all we're going to talk about. We got a bunch of other things to talk about. Some things are major disappointments, like Gavin Newsom. Some things are. I got my local politics here. We have some local shenanigans. You wouldn't believe it. Harris County, Houston, Texas, had some local election shenanigans, but that's okay. Some people can vote twice if you're in elected office, whatever. So we got a bunch of news. Are you ready to start this thing?
Yeah. Yeah. What's the lead story again? Because I didn't know if you picked the one lead story that I thought you were going to pick for the lead story. I'm just now waking up out of my day.
Well, look, I mean, like it's the day after Super Tuesday. There's no way that we can not have Donald Trump. Of course, Donald Trump won all the important primaries. I say important primaries because Nikki Haley did. Not only has she secured the swamp, Nikki Haley got the Washington, D.C. constituents of Democrats pretending to be Republicans. She got them to vote for her. So she won the swamp of Washington, D.C. district. She, on Super Tuesday, secured a massive victory of Vermont. With Vermont, they're like, I don't know if they're Vermont. I don't know if they're thought leaders, but like they're definitely leading, like as the earth turns.
No,
they kind of lead us into sunrise.
Yeah, that's about all they lead us into. The time zones and good jam band music. Fish is from Vermont, and that's about the only positive thing that I know that comes from Vermont.
Oh. I didn't know that. Well, that's an amazing coincidence because in a little while we are definitely gonna have a big fish story. Okay. So let me get my doodly doo up. So these are the states that had delegates up for grabs. Restream, you son of a, every single time, dude. What are they doing? What are they doing? Okay, so these are the states that had delegates up for grabs yesterday. So maybe, Deke, I'm sure you know, and I'm sure all of our listeners know, but so that I know you know, I'm just going to explain how I think this works. During the primary election season, each state gets to have its own primary or caucus or what have you. However that state decides which party, what their party is going to support, and then that state allocates a number of delegates based on their population size and whatever. They allocate delegates to the party's winner. Some states give all of the delegates to whoever wins the contest, and some states give some of the delegates to whoever wins the contest, and they hold others until the state holds the convention. Every state has its own party convention, and then they will allocate delegates at the convention. Ultimately, the Republican Party and the Democratic parties will have national conventions where all of these delegates go to the national convention, and then they select the party's nominee. That's sort of the process. So it's kind of a multi-step thing. You in Kentucky, I'm sure, went and voted yesterday. You don't have to confirm that. And I went and voted here in Texas. And so in about a couple of weeks, there's going to be some precinct conventions, and then there will be the party convention in Texas, like in May, and then in June, I think, or July, there will be the national convention. These are the states that ran yesterday, a bunch of states, and these bunch of states allocated a big step up of delegates. And here is a nice, pretty picture. So up until yesterday, these 360 or so delegates had been allocated, most of which to Trump. I think Nikki Haley had like 40 or something like that. And then this is why it's called Super Tuesday. In one day, 800 or 900 delegates are allocated, right? And so this is why it's called Super Tuesday. So, and then after this, there's a few more, conventions or nominations along the calendar. And eventually a candidate will reach enough to claim the majority. Now, in order to become the party's nominee, one candidate needs to acquire at least half of this total of 2429. So that would be 15, it'd be like 1,215 delegates. That's what you need to secure the nomination. And currently, they're going to go down that list. Currently, Donald Trump has like 900. So he's winning. So a big day for Trump yesterday. Although Nikki Haley did, as I say, secure she has secured Washington, D.C., and she has secured half of Vermont. So Vermont has 17 total delegates, 9 of which were allocated yesterday, 8 of which will be allocated in the state primary. But here's the thing. Donald Trump still might get those 8 delegates.
It might not matter, JJ, because we're skipping a whole story here. I think we're like, let me say something, and it might save you 5 minutes of talking.
Yes.
Okay. Let me just share with you. I tagged you this morning. I didn't know if you saw it because I think Brian Perkins posted a screenshot. So I went and found the story.
Oh, yeah.
Nikki Haley is supposedly supposed to exit the GOP presidential race today. This comes from CNN Politics, CNN.com. So former blah, blah, blah said that will announce Wednesday that she is exiting the Republican presidential race, according to sources familiar with her plans, clearing the path for former President Donald Trump.
That makes a lot of sense.
She's expected to deliver remarks this morning at 9 a.m. Central Time, the only real time in the world.
The actual time zone.
The actual real time, following a series of losses in the GOP nominated contest in yesterday's Super Tuesday. So, I saw him bring up that screenshot this morning. It's a long-ass article. I'm not reading shit.
Look, Nikki Haley should have dropped out a long time ago. She should have dropped out before Ron DeSantis. And Ron DeSantis saw the writing on the wall like weeks ago and was like, because, Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump Ron DeSantis had been talking a bunch of trash about Donald Trump, and Donald Trump just calls him names. It's pretty funny. And Ron DeSantis was just bleeding donors, bleeding support, and looking a fool with his high heel cowboy boots or whatever. And he saw the writing on the wall weeks ago and said, I'm dropping out of the race, and I will endorse Donald Trump. And Nikki Haley acted like she was the last man standing. She's like, oh, I survived. I'm defeating. No, she had even less support than Ron DeSantis. Should have dropped out a long time ago. So, yeah. Okay. That's great news. I actually had not seen that story that Nikki Haley was planning to drop out. I did see the story that on Super Tuesday, she was with her staff in South Carolina, Charlotte, South Carolina, and they were watching the returns come in, and she had no plans whatsoever in terms of a watch party or a public event. No plans to speak. No donor party, anything like that. She had no plans, as opposed to the other candidates that like Donald Trump's out there, got a big party. People are waiting for him to celebrate, of course. So yeah. All right.
That kind of tells me that maybe somebody was thinking 4 moves ahead. Maybe somebody already knew this before Super Tuesday. Don't you think?
I mean, like everybody.
Isn't that obvious?
The whole world. It couldn't be more clear that she does not have anything except Democrat dollars to try to run against Trump. I don't know what she was thinking, and I do know what she was thinking. She was thinking like, they'll convict Trump, and then I'll be the last one standing, and then the deep state can tell me what to do, and I'll be president. That's what she was thinking. And then the Supreme Court says, no, you can't keep him off the ballot, and the Fani Willis case is totally dissolving as the corruption of Fani Willis and Nathan Wade are being exposed. And the Letitia James case is probably going to have some problems once now that people are starting to figure out that their election dollars are being misspent.
Nobody is believing this strategy anymore that they've been using for years. Now, hear me out. Yeah. They've been using a same strategy for years, and we've picked up on it. So look for the strategy to change, okay? So look for the strategy to change. The strategy has been, I'm going to throw out 50 pieces of damning misinformation. We're going to convict him for this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this. And it all sounds absolutely terrible, so that 40% of the population that doesn't have a freaking clue what's going on is going to automatically take that as, oh my God, that's bad. And they don't look at anything else. It's like my example I said years ago, that if I had a newspaper, I could print on the front page today, big headlines, JJW is dumb. And then you get mad and you're like, I'm not dumb. I've got an IQ of this and blah, blah, blah. And I've got this degree and blah, blah, blah. So that was on Wednesday. On Friday, I reprint a retraction.
Yeah.
Sorry, JJW is not
Nobody
dumb.
reads retractions.
We were wrong.
You're right.
But I put that shit on page 14 down at the bottom.
Right. So
I printed
the thing that sticks in everybody's mind is what? JJ's dumb.
What was already on the first page,
exactly.
the front page. And so you see JJW and your brain automatically goes to that dummy. He's a dummy. He's a dummy. We have been programmed like that for years. Yeah. It's a lot of it is coming out now about musicians that we all thought were crazy and all kinds of stuff that we've been told. This person's crazy. This person's crazy. Are they?
Yeah, really.
Are they really?
Yeah, so that's true. I mean, you're right, and that's not working. Lawfare is not working.
Strategy, we're starting to pick up on this. So, Fani Willis, you tried to make it look bad, and see that shit's crumbling. Well, you tried to do this.
This is what they're after. All of this lawfare, and you're right. This lawfare is all to get Donald Trump convicted of some kind of a felony, so that they can say presidential candidate Donald Trump a felon. They want to put that felon in the headline somewhere. That's what they want to do. They want to insinuate to the American people that he is a vile criminal. And you know what? If Donald Trump had hit and run and murdered somebody and was convicted of felony, the American people would probably be like, oh God, I don't want to elect a murderer, or I don't want to elect a drunk manslaughter, somebody like that. But this is all bogus. America can see it. If they keep trying to do this, all of these bogus cases, and they finally get their red headline of like criminal felon Donald Trump, it's not going to stop Republicans from voting for Donald Trump. It's going to go the other way. More people are going to vote for Donald Trump. They call him a felon because we're going to be like, you guys are full of shit. This is all full of shit.
Tell me to watch out because Charles Barkley might punch you in the face.
Man,
so
if you live within 30 minutes of Charles Barkley, a $30, listen, I looked it up yesterday. A $30 investment in a Trump mugshot t-shirt, and you walk into Charles Barkley at a grocery store, get him to punch you in the face. You have to be black. You have to be a black man. He won't punch a white man for some reason. You have to be a black man wearing a Trump t-shirt. You get Charles Barkley to punch you in the face. That is misdemeanor assault.
Payday.
Yeah, you can get. I think up to $10,000 as a for a misdemeanor assault.
And start a
huge
start some social media accounts with a catchy name or something, and don't post anything about it like that. Just be like posting pictures of freaking dogs and cats.
I was battered
like
by Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
You get a payout, bro.
This is good. This
All
is
right.
a good plan.
Yeah. So I wanted to I wanted to elevate a little bit of local Texas news, but it's specifically Harris County news.
Is that the county you live in?
So yeah, that's the county I live in. The DA, the prosecutor for Harris County, her name is Kim Ogg. She's the district attorney for Harris County. She is a Democrat. We have this statement from from Tanisha Hudspeth, Harris County clerk, from yesterday. Let me pull this up. An incident occurred this morning when DA Kim Ogg went to the polls and was unable to cast a ballot because a ballot had already been cast in her name.
Really?
Last Friday, DA Ogg's partner, who is registered to vote at the same address as DA Ogg, voted in the primary elections under DA Ogg's name. In the process of qualifying a voter, each voter is asked to review and confirm the information that appears on the iPad screen, including the name. If the information that appears on the screen is not accurate, the voter must notify the election clerk. In this instance, the DA's partner must not have noticed that the information was not hers and proceeded to sign in.
Not have noticed.
Whoopsie.
I want you all to look at those particular words that were placed in there. Must not have noticed.
She's a Democrat.
Bullshit.
So given the benefit of the doubt.
They already tried this. This is exactly what we just said. Remember, what's his name pulled the fire alarm when they were
must not have noticed.
He must not have noticed.
It was an accident.
That it was an accident.
We believe this is the case because DA Ogg's partner signed her own name as such a confirmation. But wait, there's more. Clerical errors can occur at the polls. It is the voter's responsibility to verify the information on the iPad screen is correct before they issued a poll code. We were able to assist DA Ogg with rectifying this voter error so that she can cast her ballot. The vote that DA Ogg's partner cast has been transferred to her own name, and DA Ogg has been able to vote since 8:24 this morning, though she has not done so yet. Oh,
good. Because
no,
I mean, that's
sure.
OGG is a very common last name.
Ogg. Hey, no, did you get that though? We were able to assist, but they transferred the vote. So the election administrators can just go in and be like, oops, you got that one wrong. We'll just put that in somebody else's name. Oops, you got that one wrong. We'll just fix what you voted for there. The election systems are not immutable. If you're an administrator or you have enough access, you can just, change things.
If you're curious, because no one usually is, except for my dumbass, if you're curious about how we cast votes and the machines that cast the vote, this is how my brain works. Though they have computerized machines that cast the votes. Well, that's obviously got to be a program. What kind of program is that? Who makes that program? Who's the parent company of the company that makes that program? Who's the head people of the that hold the head CEO? Who's the people that hold stock? Oh, this politician's husband or this politician's wife? That's very interesting how these people control this are on the freaking board 16 people up of the people that own the company that cast your votes.
Oh, hey, Brian's here in Rumble. Let me check what he's saying in Rumble chat. Landslide victory. Nikki Haley resigns 95 delegates to Trump. The strategy was to bankrupt political opposition by lawfare. Brian got into a heated discussion with a precinct chief last night over this very issue. Brian, if you want to come in and hey, Brian, for real, first of all, thanks for watching on Rumble. Rumble is the best platform.
You don't have to have a camera. If you just want to come in and voice,
if you want to come chat with us about,
love to hear that freaking story.
Like sincere offer.
Brian is very smart. Brian has dumped some stuff in the you know what? I'm gonna make a before that I've been like, oh man, this is awesome.
Brian, I know you have supporter chat, so if you are so inclined, I'm gonna go drop the link over in supporter chat, and you are welcome to come hop on and talk to us if you want to. There you go. Put it in the supporter chat. Bleep blop bloop. Okay, but for now we will move on. Let's see.
Are you done with your local stuff?
There is one more thing, I guess. Let's see.
Texas?
Yeah, I got Texas.
Hit that Texas up, and I've got a couple of Kentucky ones I'll hit.
Oh, okay, great.
I saw this morning, and I was like,
so,
for real?
You know what? This is our intersection. As you know, Deacon, Mitch McConnell has announced that he's going to step down from leadership. You know, his batteries are running low.
Something important happened in Kentucky yesterday. Did you freeze?
No, I'm just doing a Mitch McConnell. So.
Oh, I was like, I was like, oh shit, JJ froze. That was really good. I was like, holy shit, JJ froze.
No, okay. So
something very interesting happened in Kentucky yesterday because of Mitch McConnell announcing.
You go ahead. You go first then. Can you do that one first? I'll do this one after because there is an intersection.
I'm trying to go off memory. Let me see if I can pull up this story here. But yesterday,
there's Brian. Kentucky, hey, hold up. There's Brian. Brian joined us. You can do your Kentucky story. We'll bring him in a second.
So yesterday, the House voted to remove any role for the state's Democratic governor in deciding who would occupy a U.S. Senate seat if a vacancy occurred.
Oh, nice.
All right. The legislation calls for a special election to fill any Senate vacancy from the Bluegrass state. Mm-hmm. The measure won overwhelming House passage to advance to the Senate, where our GOP holds a supermajority in the Senate as well.
Oh, so they have so it's veto proof.
We have a supermajority.
So even if he vetoes it,
supermajority in both with a Democratic governor.
And if Bashir vetoes it, the supermajority can override the veto.
Yes. So the Republican House Majority Floor Leader, Stephen Rudy, who is from Western Kentucky, said that his bill has nothing to do with McConnell, but instead reflects on his long-running policy stance on how an empty Senate seat should be filled.
Honestly,
I think that is correct,
the Senate
but it probably has something to do with McConnell.
I mean, I think we should go back to the original frame of the Constitution where the Senate seat is not elected by the people, but it's elected by the state. That way, the House of Representatives represents the constituents and the Senate represents the states, and we have these dueling interests that advances policy only if it works for everybody. But, you know, Democrats are dumb, so they got us here. Let's bring Brian in.
Bring him in.
Good morning, Brian. I don't know if your mic's on or whatever, but do you want to share a little election night woes story?
Hang on, let me check.
You may check your settings on, make sure your mic, you got the right mic there, buddy. Tell you what, I'm gonna pull you out for a second, and you send a little.
No, pull him back in there. So if he talks, we'll be able to hear him.
There. Okay, I think. Yeah, now we can. We can hear you a little bit. You're a little fuzzy, but that's okay. What's up?
It should fix itself.
Brian, so I don't know how much you want to divulge about what you do, but you work with the Republican Party in your area.
Yes, I work closely with the local Republican Party. I'm not an employee. I'm just a volunteer.
Okay.
Who does more work than I should. But so I had an authorization letter from my chairman of the local Republican Party. And that authorizes me to go into the polls as a non-voter and to observe and discuss things with the chief, the person running that precinct.
Like as an observer?
Yeah, as an observer. Most people that do this, they usually just sit somewhere and just watch things happen. But there's actually a 10-page document here in Virginia that allows you to do certain things and engage in other ways. And, you can fit a lot of things on 10 pages.
Yeah.
And I want to keep it brief because I know you're running your show. But I went to 14 precincts yesterday and had great conversations with the chiefs at each of them. But On the first, and it's the same one I went to at the end because I came back, was the only precinct that I had any issues with. And despite me insisting that I have certain rights and authorizations and was willing to share those with her in her book of rules,
Uh-huh.
um, once she'd had a chance to look at them more thoroughly after leaving the first time, she was refusing to share that with me, even though it's a publicly available document. Uh, Heated discussion. You're actually not supposed to be disruptive. And so, there was some back and forth, but ultimately she let me do what I wanted with extra stipulations and limitations, which I conceded to. But to the point of your story, what I was doing was standing behind the desk where they check you in,
Right.
looking at the screen information and the IDs that were presented. Personally, I didn't care specifically to check it, but I was exercising the right and authority in most
Uh-huh.
places for just 5 minutes or less and leaving. But anyway, for this one particular one, I said I need to be close enough to see and hear what is going on, which includes seeing the screen and being able to read the ID cards as described in your
Right.
procedure,
That makes sense. You're supposed to be observing.
which that is just an extra layer of protection for this district attorney Og story, right? Had there been an observer there, which is not required, right?
Or if the
But
observer
had there
had been
been,
paying attentive.
right, well,
Right.
yeah. But if an observer had been there, or if the election officers had been paying attention, or even the voter themselves, that whole thing could have been precluded. And I wouldn't say it's common for that to happen, but it does happen on occasion. And it's not the end of the world. It's just a high profile story because she was the district attorney.
So I can and things are different in different states. Every state's got different rules in terms of how many observers you can have and things like that. I don't know, but I believe that I recall that from reading news stories from Harris County from 2020, maybe 2022 midterms, that there's not always enough observers that have volunteered from each party. So while the parties are allowed to have observers, if there are not volunteers to do so, then in many cases, at the elections, there's just the judge or maybe just the observer from one party that doesn't have a vested interest in checking.
That's exactly what you took the thought out of my head, because that's what I was thinking when you were saying that I have run public service announcements, PSAs over here on my radio station here in the past, like 4 or 5 months, talking about it doesn't matter what party you're with, we need helpers and blah, blah, blah for this and whatnot. And that got me thinking, well, what if they're looking for people to help with that? How many people want to volunteer to be observers, And most people probably don't know. They probably don't have a clue. I didn't have a clue.
Or they're not political, or they have everything else they have to do in their life. Like, they've got their job. If they're retired, who knows what they're into. Like, politics is how we allocate resources and power. But many people in their lives, they don't care. They just kind of like that's over there. That's distant. Right. They're not, including me. Like I'm an observer in terms of I watch stuff, but like, I'm not a joiner. I'm not a party guy. So I'm not interested in fighting for the party. And I don't want to be involved in it. I just kind of want to watch things and be like, you guys are doing that wrong. That's not right. That's kind of how I am. I just want to be critical. And hey, Brian, did you have anything else you wanted to share about your election stuff, or you can hang out with us if you want to. We've got a bunch of other stories, but I know you got a little kiddo there. How's your kid?
She's doing great. She's always looking for snacks. So
me too.
But I just wanted to say at the very end of it with that precinct chief, I had come back a second time, and I had asked her to call downtown to verify that what I was asking for was perfectly legitimate if she couldn't figure it out herself.
Right.
And I don't think she ever called. But when when I came back, she was very confrontational, standoffish.
Mm-hmm.
And she even implied that I had threatened her. And I said, ma'am, how did I threaten you? Well, you implied that there would be repercussions or consequences for me not allowing you to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, ma'am, it's called the law of Virginia, and you work for people and I provide input to them. So she did not like that at all.
It's a threat if you don't allow me to break the law and you tell on me.
First of all, you're talking to someone in a position of power that's had a position of power for a long time, and normally those people don't like when somebody else talks to them
or challenges them
like that or challenges them. That's just that personality.
And I wasn't there to challenge her there. I made it clear,
right? But she automatically didn't like you.
Yeah,
right.
I made it clear I'm there to exercise this legal ability that is, even been blessed by the registrar of our city herself, because I've had this sit-down conversation with her.
It's possible, it's probable, I would think that, these people, she was the judge for the station, like she was in charge, right?
Yes.
I don't know how you guys organize it. So I wonder how much training these people have in terms of the rights and obligations. They probably have a certain amount of training in terms of like how to just operate the machinery and get, the task done. But they may be not well enough educated in terms of their responsibilities to, in your case, constituents that have authorizations, Maybe it's a matter of I guess the question I'm getting to is this. Do you think her reaction and attitude can be excused by the fact that she was ignorant of what she was obligated to and did not want to overstep by allowing a person with a piece of paper to just do whatever they want in the station? Do you understand what I mean? Like is she weighing her obligations to maintain security against being ignorant about her obligations to allow observers? But she has to know they have to allow observers.
She does. She's actually been doing it for quite some time. I don't want to divulge any too much personal information.
Sure. Okay.
But,
yeah.
Let's just say that she's been doing it for more than a decade. They get about 2 hours of training per election, and the chiefs themselves get an additional 3 or 4 hours of training annually. And she's been doing it a while. So, she's one of those people that probably just nods her head and goes, because she's done the training so many times. But, can her behavior be forgiven? Like, my feelings are not hurt, right? I've got.
Sure, of course not. It's not about that.
She is now the sole person in charge of interacting with the public. And if this is how she treats someone who's exercising a legal authority in a well-reserved manner, right? What is she doing to others? Is this the person you want representing the city?
Right. And, so Super Tuesday's over, and your state is over yesterday. I'm going to say, obviously, your state's one of the 13 or whatever that was a Super Tuesday state, but there's still a lot of states that have a lot of primaries to go, caucuses to go. If somebody that is listening were a person that wanted to, say, volunteer in some way, what advice would you give them to be an observer, how would you suggest that they reach out to participate in more than just voting?
The official ways to reach out and to participate in your local elections. The best way is to go to the city registrar's or elections office and just apply to work. But if you're hesitant about doing that, have a discussion with them. They can actually write you a letter to be an observer on behalf of the city. But if you're a little more partisan and you want to help your party, you can just go you can go to your local parties, whatever that might be. Even the independent party can do this. And and you can get letters of authorizations from the chairman of those organizations. However, if they don't know you that well, they probably will not.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Brian, we may have you come back another time because, I learned yesterday at the precinct, I learned that the precinct conventions are happening in this weekend. Our state has Senate convention and then the state convention. And maybe you have some input about that, how it works in your state and maybe about how it works in other states. So maybe we may have you come back to comment on that if you want to.
I'm actually going to be helping to set up the Virginia National Republican Committee Convention. So
okay, cool. Well, I think rather than me just like imagine how things are, it would be better for maybe you to come by and give us some informed opinions about how a convention runs and what it's for.
That's right.
Okay, thanks, Brian. I'm gonna shove you out of here now. Bye. I appreciate you joining, buddy.
my guest already came in and she's sitting in the car.
Oh, no.
And then the guy will be here soon.
It's
He
Wednesday.
said I'll be here shortly. It's Wednesday.
Oh my God.
It is. Let me talk about this one Kentucky bill real quick. This other one was just Governor Beshear was doing some crap for civil rights yesterday, and he said something stupid, and I was going to point that out. But I want to point out this other one here in the state of Kentucky, where the Kentucky Senate has granted the right to collect child support for unborn children. Now, wait a minute. Don't that headline sound weird? All right. Don't that sound kind of negative? Don't it sound negative, that headline?
Yeah.
All right. The sub-headline, the Republican-led Kentucky Senate has voted to grant the right to collect child support for unborn children, basically just saying Republican in echoing that first line. Let's read. The Republican-led Kentucky Senate voted overwhelmingly Tuesday to grant the right to collect child support for unborn children, advancing a bill that garnered bipartisan support. Once again, we've said the same thing 3 times. The measure would allow a parent to seek child support up to a year after giving birth to retroactively cover pregnancy expenses. The legislation, Senate Bill 110, won passage on a 36-2 vote with little discussion to advance to the House. Republicans have supermajorities in both, since we talked about it earlier. So what do you think about that? I mean, we can go on and read into this, but that's basically what it is. And it made me think, that these it's deadbeat dads.
Yeah.
You can't get these damn dads to pay their child support anyway.
Right.
And now these women are already having to do and go through all this, or women or men are having to go through all this. And if that woman had to go through, have you had, I mean, y'all adopted.
Yes.
But let me tell you how expensive having a baby is, and preparing for a baby and getting ready for a baby and whatnot.
Yeah.
You can't just have a baby shower. Oh, I hope you give me 5,000 diapers.
That was like the thing we wanted the most. I was like, please, these diapers are so expensive.
Dude, and Deacon was allergic to there was something wrong, and he had to be on formula.
Yeah.
Do you know how expensive that, and you go through it like, oh my God.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's very expensive.
A lot of people don't know this, but you can go to your pediatrician for your checkups. A lot of times the pediatricians will have samples in there, and you can get sample cans of formula, tons of it. Like you can just keep get a lot of it.
You know how long that lasts? You know how long a sample
some
can
days,
of formula lasts?
some days.
Like 3 bottles.
Yeah.
2 bottles.
There's some resources out there, man.
There are, but this is a
can we just say,
this is a
hey,
step
dads,
in the right direction, possibly.
Stop abandoning women that you get pregnant, or maybe get married before you get women pregnant.
Or step up and be a man.
Yeah, man up, be a dad. Hey, Brian,
because that child that you have is not a mistake.
Right.
It's not a mistake. Children are a gift from God.
Absolutely. Everyone is. It's
not a mistake.
Yeah. Although, possibly Hunter. No, I mean,
nope, not at all.
Okay. Hey, Brian, if you hang out, if Deacon, if you have to leave early because of your guest, I might bring Brian in to do stories with us. Do you want to?
That's fine if the door opens back up.
All right. Should we just let Brian in and just do stories like normal? Okay.
He wants to hang out.
Brian, if you want to hang out, you can hang out. I hope you're still there.
I'll be here.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. So let me did we do your Kentucky? That was your Kentucky story. Well, here's my.
The other one was,
so as it was saying earlier, Mitch McConnell intends to step down, but he does not intend to step down now. He intends to step down way down late in November. As you said, if he stepped down now, Beshear could nominate a Democratic senator. That would be strategically a poor move.
I saw on some Kentucky Twitter sites yesterday. Go ahead and pull it up. I just saw on Kentucky Twitter sites yesterday. Some people were talking about Rand Paul.
Man, he's great.
Yeah, I know. I was like, who? Like that one.
Yeah, I like Rand Paul.
I agree with
that. A Texas senator is throwing his hat in the ring, nominating himself to take the to take the reins of the Republican Party. That'd be John Cornyn. He's a giant piece of shit. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton teases a primary challenger to John Cornyn. Did I mention that John Cornyn is a piece of shit? And hold on, I'll tell you why.
Is that 95-year-old man there?
This
on the
dude
right?
over here.
Okay.
This dude is anti-Trump. Okay, fine. He's anti-Trump. You know what? I would be cool with a Republican that was anti-Trump as long as he was pro-me. But John Cornyn is also anti-gun. The attorney general's
that's funny.
Yeah, right. Ken Paxton accused John Cornyn of being anti-gun is likely a reference to his involvement in crafting and bolstering the bipartisan Safer Communities Act, a gun reform bill taken up following the Uvalde elementary school shooting in the Lone Star State. This bill would have put into place or would have made it possible to have red flag laws. Red flag laws are the sort of thing that as you are a citizen in Texas, especially. It's like we have Bible and the Texas flag and guns. We love these things, but we believe in a constitutional right to carry and bear arms. You as a citizen have a constitutional right to keep and bear arms. It cannot be taken from you. But red flag laws would allow anyone to say, hey, that guy over there, he's got a mental disorder. He's crazy. Take away all of his guns until we sort this out. And there's no method to sort this out. So basically, you can just be accused of being a mental case without judicial review, without a court process, without a remedy laid out in law. Your rights can be taken from you on accusation. That's what this guy, John Cornyn, was down for. So fuck John Cornyn. I don't want him to be the leader of the Senate. Okay. Pardon my language. I'm passionate about people not taking my stuff away from me, especially my rights. All right. So I'm not supporting that guy.
They do it in other ways, though.
They do.
You notice, because you were bringing that up, but what they do is like, let's make the classification for mental disorder less and less and less. And what do 90%? What do a majority of Americans have? How
Brian
many
jumped out?
That's all right.
Oh, I probably because I have my language. He's got kids. Sorry, Brian.
I am a majority of the people in the whoa.
Yeah, sorry. Hey, David.
Right.
David said he missed this week. He's been a conference in Wisconsin. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh, what? Oh, okay.
Oh, Do Good says there's a Texan who's anti-gun, seems to be antithetical. Yes, he's anti-ethical. I would agree with you, sir.
No, but they classify that, they make it easier and easier. What a majority of Americans are depressed or have some sort of whatever. So let's make that one of the disorders to not you can't have a gun now because of that. And that's what they do.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't tried to make it obese. If you're 20 pounds overweight, you cannot have a gun.
Too fat to own a gun. Right. And then too skinny to own a gun. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let's see. We got so many stories in relationship to this speaker stuff. I'm going to blaze through this one. John Barroso he's also a senator, is not seeking appointment to the leadership spot. He is instead campaigning to be the Senate Majority Whip, which is the guy that kind of gets people. He thinks he'll be more effective there than in a leadership position. And right now, just because of our political climate and because of our, fractures within, say, the Republican Party, the normal traditional thing is that the Senate has hierarchical rungs and you work your way up the rungs. That's what Mitch McConnell did. He worked his way up the rungs. He secured power and he held on to that power for a long time. And when Mitch McConnell leaves, traditionally, it would be the next guy would climb that rung. And that's how the Senate would work, the Republican. Right now, it's like, nah, if you can skip people right now, we're going to push old establishment power out of the way and push up populist candidates so it's a real contest for power right now in the Republican Party. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that. There's also this story. This is a border story. The state of Arizona has done what Texas has done, which is pass a law to make crossing into Arizona illegally illegal. That's what Arizona has done. They passed a law that says if you cross into Arizona from an international border illegally, it is illegal. It passed the House, it passed the Senate in Arizona, and it has gone to the desk of the Arizona governor. But the Arizona governor is a Democrat, so this is what she has done. Arizona governor vetoes bill allowing local police to arrest illegal aliens. Arizona Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs took aim at the Republican-backed border bill in her first veto of the legislative session. So
she's usually that one. She's usually that Democrat. Is that her? Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong.
She's the one that won the governorship over Carrie Lake. She also ran. She also was running the contest. She was the director of elections for that season when she won. Coincidentally, when she defeated Lake, she was the one counting the votes.
Okay.
So I mean, I wonder what the people of Arizona think about this. You know, because like the Congress in the legislative body in Arizona said, "Hey, we're going to do what Texas did. We're going to make it illegal to be illegal here. We're going to enforce the law." And she said, "No, we're not going to enforce the law. That would be dangerous for some people."
I don't understand what they're doing. I don't understand. I just
right.
I don't understand why they're allowing this to happen. And it's going to push people to the point to where they're going to lose rational decision making.
This is
you see what I'm saying? I mean, that's what it's coming to, because people keep saying, I keep saying, why is this allowed to happen? Why is this allowed to happen? Why are we allowing this to happen? It's all these freaking comments when I see this crap, and it's getting where is the evolution of that comment, of that thought process?
Right.
It's only going to get worse.
I mean,
because these people are allowing this to happen,
and not just allowing it. She's like people are trying to solve it, and she's getting in the way, and
she's getting in the way.
It couldn't be more clear. Deacon, you and I have been talking about immigration as a massive issue for like the last year and a half, 2 years on this show. It's a regular topic that I bring up, and I have on multiple times voiced nuanced opinions about it. I'm sorry about your stuff over there. I'm against illegal immigration, but there's people that are here and that people that I care about. And, you know, so like I am a moderate person on this that want to take a balanced view, close the border. Let's fix our situation. And there are obviously some people that are even more, they're like, deport everybody. That's never going to happen. And there's and obviously, but it's become more apparent than ever that the left is like, just bring everybody in because brown people will vote Democrat. They're crazy and they're causing problems and they don't want to solve problems. This election right now, the American people, and I don't mean Republicans, I mean all of them. Okay, buddy.
I'm gonna.
Okay. I'm so sorry. We'll pick it up. We'll pick some of this stuff up tomorrow. If you got to drop out, the immigration has become the number one issue.
Yeah, we'll have to. We skipped music yesterday and today.
I'm sorry.
And that's all right. I've got to go.
All right.
No, I got to go.
Okay. I'm so sorry about that. Hey, Brian, you still here?
Always.
Yeah. Okay. So feel free to jump in with comments if you have any. I feel bad about that. I'm going to save the AI stories for tomorrow, but as I was saying, the attitude of the American electorate right now is that immigration is the number one issue. It's the number one issue. It is a criminal issue, and it is an economic issue. And the American electorate has decided that illegal immigration is the number one issue, and Democrats are advocating for positions that make illegal immigration more possible, not less. They're against controlling the border rather than curtailing, illegal immigration, undocumented economic migration, trafficking of drugs, trafficking of minors, trafficking of women. Democrats, and exemplified by Katie Hobbs in this story, advocating for illegal immigrants. Okay.
You know, speaking about Katie Hobbs, if I can try.
Yeah.
I just saw an article posted today where she's going to have an avenue to forgive all medical debts and something else as well for persons of the state. And I'm just like, who's paying for that? You may or may not know what I'm talking about.
So I don't know. I don't know about that. So she's advocating that the state pay the medical bills of certain persons. Would that be
pretty much anyone who has a medical debt that's unresolved? That it would just be wiped clean and started over.
Well, that's pretty convenient for people that are in debt in Arizona. I guess the Arizona taxpayer will be paying for that somehow. Maybe Charles Barkley, he lives there. Maybe he's picking up the tab. Brian, I don't know if you have followed this story, but there is a particular United States senator who is currently being charged with bribery and exchange for political influence. That would be U.S. Senator Menendez. Have you heard about this guy's problems?
I can't claim to be an expert on the topic, but I'm familiar with it. Apparently, American democracy is on sale for gold bars, but not cash.
Yeah, gold bars, Egyptian gold. So Senator Menendez and his wife face updated corruption charges in a Manhattan federal court. Senator Menendez is the political figure that was accepting gold from Egypt, allegedly accepting gold from Egypt in exchange for political favors. And the police or FBI or somebody raided his place and they found gold in the safe. They found gold in pockets or whatever. They just found gold stashed all over his house. He faces new obstruction charges. Let me pull up this story from the Straits Times. I'm going to have to apologize to Deacon because we have missed music, but I mean, it is the day after Super Tuesday. U.S. Senator Robert Menendez faces new obstruction charges. Here is the dealy do. No, thanks. I'm not interested in whatever that is. Prosecutors unveiled new criminal charges against Menendez on March 5th, alleging he sought to obstruct justice as investigators probe him for graft involving Middle Eastern countries. He already faced corruption-related charges, which he has denied, including conspiring to act as an agent of Egypt and taking bribes and influence peddling for Cairo and helping a businessman secure investment from a Qatari fund. New charges follow the decision of Jose Uribe, who was charged alongside Menendez and his wife to plead guilty and assist investigators in their probe. So this guy said, yeah, we did it, and I will cut a deal. He pled guilty, and now he's helping testify against Menendez. Menendez has rejected calls for resignation, but in September relinquished his chairmanship of the powerful Foreign Relations Committee. So not only is I thought I was sharing the screen. Not only is Senator Menendez influence peddling with foreign countries, he was the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee of the Senate. He was in the most lucrative position for that sort of thing to be a profitable side gig, and also totally illegal. So it's not going to be too long before we see Menendez actually probably in court. We'll see. But he's got a stack of charges, and he's still trying to get a re-election. So, but Democrat. Let's save the AI stuff for tomorrow. And I
mean, if anything, Bob Menendez, he's just ahead of the curve. He knows that the purchasing power of the American dollar is in decline because of the current administration. So why not trade for something more valuable than cash?
Right. Well, he's part of the problem, making American dollars worth less and less. All right. Well, Brian, I'm gonna save the AI stories and the trans stories that we have on here for tomorrow's show. We end the show on every single day with a dad joke. I'm gonna give you time to scramble for one, and I'm gonna give you a dad joke. What do you call a shoe made from a banana peel?
Is it a slipper?
Any idea? It is a slipper. Man, everybody's better at this than me.
Sorry.
Let me try one more time. What do you call a fake noodle from Boston? A fake noodle from Boston.
A fake noodle from Boston.
Uh-huh.
No idea.
An imposter. Oh boy. Well, that was figures. Do you got a dad joke for the folks out there watching the show who have yet to like and subscribe?
I keep all of my dad jokes in a dad base.
Oh, here's a courtesy laugh for you, sir. All right, folks, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll be back tomorrow. Deacon's going to double up on songs tomorrow, and we're going to continue talking about how great America is in spite of all of the bad guys trying to destroy stuff. Bye, everybody.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her next swim meet to a psychopath dude with fake teats. Tune in now to your Two Dads show. JJ and Deacon, they're the ones that know. Subscribe quick, the squid monster's on the way. Conspire with us, tomorrow's news today.
There's no Trump message.